Hey all, and welcome back to another episode of my current household, Homesick. So as you guys can see, we are currently at Grandma's place. Stella's not home. She was home in the last episode, but this episode she's at her grandma's again. And as you guys can see, it's 4 a.m. in the morning, and Stella is up bright and early. I wouldn't really say intentionally because she just kind of woke up. Her sleep schedule has been a mess lately. So let me catch you guys up. It's been about a week since the last current household update, and a lot of things have happened and a lot of things have changed. So that includes her sleep schedule because she's been at her grandma's ever since summer break started for her. So the day she got her report card, she went straight to her grandma's, and I will get into that later, but just know that for now. So as you guys can see, she is very angry, she's hungry, and the elephant in the room probably is her eye, and also some bruising here. We will also get into that later. Stella actually can't sleep, and Stella is very upset, and she's also going through a rebellious phase. But she doesn't know how to feel because she actually has a court date coming up today. So she has to go to court, and her grandma will come with her, and we will also see some other people. But for now, it's 5 a.m. Stella can't sleep, and she doesn't know what to do. So I think what she'd most likely do in this situation is she just play games. As I said, her schedule has been changing a lot, so she's been having a lot more free time at her grandma's. She doesn't really have any restrictions there, so she's just kind of been playing video games all day. She's been loving My Sims Racing. She's also been playing Party Frenzy. Sometimes, not that often, but for now, she just really likes Party Frenzy. She's never really been into games all that much, so it's kind of fun for her to dive into that world. She's got that gaming console from her grandma as well. Her grandma used to really like games when she was younger, so it's kind of an outdated version. Her grandma is really good at handiness though. Oh, and she's awake. But her grandma is really good at handiness though, so she kind of put some RGBs in the console to make it look a little bit more modern. It's not the best and it's not the newest, but it's enough for Stella. So grandma actually also woke up and she has to use the restroom. It makes more sense now that it's 6 a.m., but yeah, Stella has been awake for quite some time. And I think I'm gonna have grandma first off make some breakfast. I'm gonna have her make some pancakes. She probably really wouldn't expect Stella to be up this early because usually Stella wakes up really late. She's been waking up at about like 10, 11, that kind of timing. And so Caroline has just been alone for most of the morning, most days. So she's just been kind of cooking, taking care of like the house and the farm. Even though we don't have that many animals anymore, Stella and Caroline used to take care of animals when Stella was a lot younger, but obviously time went on and some of them said goodbye, some of them left for the big farm, so we don't really have any animals right now. And I guess it's kind of like a crappy situation to get some because there's a lot of stuff going on, like with the court date and everything. Stella is feeling really filthy and she's also hungry, but she also thinks that she shouldn't feel into it. Like, it doesn't really make sense for her to care about these things. Like, it doesn't make sense for her, it's meaningless. She also has some friends she made, and she actually has a crush on, I can't pronounce the names. I have to look up the translation because I downloaded them from the gallery. But oh, hi grandma. Grandma's saying good morning. But yeah, those are her friends she made. Grandma's like, good morning, honey. I made some pancakes. You're really early. And she's like, I I've been up for quite some time. Oh, she's talking about aliens. Y'all, as I said, Caroline used to be a scientist. She used to be a marine biologist. Now she's retired. But they've been kind of talking about that stuff, and that's also really interesting to Stella as well. Caroline's like, are you ready for, you know, the court date? And Stella's like, yeah, sure, as ready as you can be, I guess. The court date will actually start at 10, so we have some time, but not that much. Caroline's like, honey, you should eat some of the pancakes I made. I thought you'd like them, so... Oh, Stella's like, well, I guess an apple should suffice. Caroline's like, no, you gotta eat something proper before the big day. Eat some pancakes. And also, take a shower. Stella's kind of embarrassed by her grandma telling her to take a shower because, I mean, yes, her hygiene is really low, but also it just feels kind of weird to be told to take a shower, especially for her. Caroline's also like, hey, you should put up your blinds because it's kind of dark in here. You've been having them up for a couple of days actually. And Stella's like, no, I'm fine, I'm gonna be fine. Stella's going downstairs and she's going to take a shower, and then we have to get dressed. Grandma actually put out some clothes for us because we don't have any, even though her butler usually packs clothes for Stella when she goes to her mom. This situation goes to her grandma. This situation has been a little bit different, so there was no time to pack any clothes. There was no time to pack anything. There wasn't even really time to schedule the fact that she was going to her grandma's. So all the stuff she has is either from a local thrift store, Caroline knows the owner of the thrift store, or from Caroline herself. So Caroline had a dress that she thought would fit Stella, would really like look nice on her and everything. So she lent her that or gave her that. I don't know if Stella would like to wear that in her free time. Caroline's like, I put the clothes for you here, you can go grab them and get dressed. And Stella's like, yeah, sure, I will. And Caroline also has to get dressed. Y'all, this is not the right outfit. So Stella has changed and Caroline is also going to change. And now she's just kind of standing here and she's thinking to herself, I don't want to go there. What's the matter? What does it matter? I don't understand why I should go there. Like, does it even matter if I attend? She really doesn't want to attend, but I think she's still going to go nevertheless because she has to, and she doesn't feel like there's any other option. Like, she does think about not going because that's obviously possible, but she just doesn't want to do that right now. In the last possible minute, Stella thinks to herself, should I just conceal this black eye? She's ashamed of it. She doesn't think she should attend with a black eye. And Caroline's going to see that and she's going to be like, why are you covering that up? That is so crucial for your court case. Why are you doing that? Stella's like, no, Grandma, I swear I wasn't trying to cover it up. I was just, it's a bit much. So I thought, like, I could apply some makeup. And Caroline's like, honey, no, you can't apply any makeup to that. That is important for your court case. And you don't have to hide that, like, that's not your fault. And Stella's like, how do you know? Like, it is my fault. Obviously, it's my fault. And Caroline's like, how is that your fault? Come on, let's go. We're gonna go to court. Stella's like, no, I really don't want any hug, please. I don't wanna, not right now. Stella usually doesn't say that, but right now it's just way too much. She's just so unmotivated. She's also feeling very insecure because she's been having a breakout during this past week, during all of the events. She got acne. She also has some leg hair. And you guys, oh my god, I cannot empathize this enough. I really effing do not care if people shave or not. That's none of my business. I personally don't even shave because I think leg hair is so fucking cool and arm hair and body hair is cool. So please don't take this as anything like that. But like, Stella has been taught, in quotes, how to be a right woman. Like, she's been growing up with all these very conservative values, and so Stella has been growing up thinking that, like, body here, you have to shave, you have to always look tidy and all that stuff, so please do not take this personal. Okay guys, so we have finally arrived at the courthouse and Stella is still feeling nothing pretty much. She's currently talking with this person right here, Mr. Conti. Now, those are the court people. I'm gonna introduce you guys to them really quick. So, this is the lawyer who's gonna decide what will happen with the case. This is Raphael. If you guys remember, this is our butler from the last episode. Let me just change the outfit. Because he's a witness and he has to make a statement or basically confirm anything that is discussed in this court case. Obviously, we also have Caroline here. We have Mrs. Sterling, and then we also have Bonnie and Mr. Weathers. So as you guys can see, Rosary, Stella's mom is also here, and they have conflict. And let me tell you guys the story. Okay, I've been putting this off for almost the entire video so far. So Rosary is also very heavily involved in this case. She's basically the other person right here. So the case is about custody. So today will be discussed whether or not Rosary will keep custody of Stella or if Caroline, Stella's grandma, will get full custody because of an event that has happened, and Rosary is currently talking to one of her team members about the case and what they should do. Everyone is already inside besides them, and as you guys can see, Stella's also talking to Mr. Conti, who's also in Rosary's team. And what I believe is that he's telling her, hey, so kid, you know, this is a very serious case, you got yourself in a lot of trouble. Grandma's not here right now, she would say something, she's coming in and see, she's like, why are you talking to her, why are you talking to my granddaughter, what's going on? And he's like, so you're gonna say this and that, else we're going to make this statement, and if you don't confirm, then that's on you. And Caroline's like, no, what do you mean? Why should she stick to your story? She's in the right here. Why are you trying to make this like a whole thing? He's like, listen, we know how to make a story sound realistic. We do not need evidence to make the lawyer believe that we're in the right. We have a lot more influence than you do. Your mother has a lot more influence than you do just as a 16-year-old kid. So if you stick to the story or not, that's your thing, but we would highly recommend you shut your mouth. This really hurts Stella, and she's also feeling very tense in the situation. She just wants to get away, so I think we're gonna have her sit with her grandma. This right here is Stella's lawyer, or person, I forgot the word, but he's responsible for Stella's side of the story, and he's also talking to her about the case, and he's like, okay, so this is how it's going to go down, you know, we discussed this before, but just in case, this is what we're gonna say, and this is what we're gonna do. I wonder what's going on there, because he's on Rosary's side and he's a witness, like Raphael's a witness, and he's not on Rosary's side, so I really wonder what's going on between those two, because they keep being friendly to each other. And this person, I don't know who he is. Maybe he's also a witness, or he has something important to say for the case. So the case is slowly starting, and the lawyer is currently talking to this woman right here. She's supposed to speak for Stella in case Stella can't speak for herself, because this was a very intense situation, so they want someone as backup just in case Stella doesn't know what to say. So they're talking about what happened, and I'm also gonna tell you what happened. So she's basically saying, yeah, so as the case suggests, as we've told you, as discussed previously, there was an incident on June 15th where a client, Stella Rose, came home and her mother was in a very angry mood as claimed by Raphael. Shouting was normal for their household and very strict parenting was also totally normal. That's something Stella's always been used to. That wasn't out of the box, that was normal for them. But when Raphael heard yelling and intense shouting, like very intense shouting from upstairs from Stella's room, he decided to go upstairs and there he saw that Rosary Maya was standing next to Stella. Stella had a black eye and a bleeding nose. Raphael immediately stepped in and looked out for her, and he immediately took her to Child Protective Services and talked to them. And she's like, "Is that right, Stella? That's what the statement says, right? If you have anything to comment on that, please do." And Stella's like, not saying anything. She's just frozen. She's just like slightly nodding, and the lawyer's like, you have to say if that's right or not. I'm very sorry, I know this is a tough situation for you, but please, you just have to confirm or not. And Stella's like, yes, that's the situation. And now they're coming to the claims. So like, oh my god, so many witnesses are here. How do they know? Maybe that's paparazzi, I have no idea. Yeah, see, paparazzi, oh my god. Oh my god, that's such a tough situation, especially since mental health and other health records are very important for this case, because they're also talking about Rosary's mental health records and paparazzi's in here, so that's very tough. Trey's like, objection, I can confirm that my client did not initiate the situation. Stella has shown aggressive behavior in the past, and during the past few days, she has been very upset. She has gotten into a lot of trouble in school. And so when the situation occurred, yes, her mom did hurt her. Rosary is responsible for the black eye and the bloody nose, but that's because she was defending herself. She was defending her own well-being. Stella has shown very aggressive behavior in the past, and my client was just defending themselves. Raphael's like, no, but how is that? How is that self-defense? How is giving someone a black eye self-defense if the kid was supposedly pushing you? Like, are there any medical records that Rosie has been injured, or any records that Stella has been behaving off, or anything other than a few reports we've got from school that said like that there were some issues like regarding computers and school property? Like, obviously that's not okay, and the lawyer is stopping him and he's like, no, please, you can't talk right now. We can't have all of these people talking at once. We have to have this structured. At this point, Stella really doesn't know what to do. She's about to cry, but she's not crying yet. She isn't able to cry. She doesn't know why, but she's just frozen. She can't cry. Miss Sterling is like, that is no excuse for treating a child this way. They keep on discussing the case, and it keeps getting later and later, and someone also noticing that Stella gets more quiet and quiet, even though she hasn't said anything the whole time. She's seeming a little bit more distracted. She seems very far away in a way. And so I think they're coming to an end. So they keep discussing the case, and in the end, Marcel, the lawyer, is like, so now, Miss Sterling, what is your take on the situation? Should Stella stay in the custody of Rosie Maya, or should Caroline Gauthier get custody of Stella? And obviously he's not asking like that, but you know, storytelling. Usually he'd also ask Stella, but Stella is just not in a state where she can make this decision and actually be happy with it. Like, she's not in a state where she can make such a tough decision. And so Miss Sterling is like, no, I absolutely do not think that Miss Maya should keep custody of Stella. I do not think she's fit for the role of a parent. I do not think that Stella is safe with her. Rosary herself didn't really try to do anything during the case. She was very quiet. Obviously, like, the person responsible for her said some really important stuff to try to keep her, like, let her keep custody. But as you guys can see, she's also just leaving. As a last question, they're like, so Miss Scott here, Stella, is that okay for you guys? Obviously, they've discussed this before, but just as a final confirmation, and Caroline is like, yes, of course. That's fine with us. The case is now officially done. It's really late, and it's been raining all day, and they can finally leave the courthouse. Caroline is saying her last goodbye, and she's like, thank you for being such a good representative. Thank you so much. But Stella's just leaving without saying goodbye to anyone. She doesn't really have control of the situation right now. It's like a blur to her. Everything is feeling blurry. Everything is feeling super scattered. Like, it feels like a puzzle that's been scattered all across the floor. It's just, her head is a mess right now. Mr. Weathers is like, I'm so sorry, Miss Maya. We really tried, and she's like, it's okay, I really don't care. And he's like, what do you mean you don't care? This is important, this is for press, this is your career, this is your life. He doesn't mean to get too close to her, but she's like, I can make my own decisions, okay? This is enough. She's like, you just really don't understand the situation. And he's like, no, what do you mean? We've discussed this case for weeks. You've been so focused on keeping custody. You've been so focused on keeping custody of her, of keeping your image up. And she's like, it's okay, it's fine, I don't need any comments right now. Caroline is so confused by that reaction. Caroline, really, no one knows what to say. They're all so stunned. This reaction has never occurred. Rosie has never been this way. But Caroline is noticing that Stella has been gone for quite some time, so she can't be bothered with the situation right now. Caroline's like, hey honey, are you okay? Is everything okay? So it's like, can we just go home? Caroline's like, I'm so proud of you. You did such a good job. You were so strong in there. And she's like, okay. No one expected it to go down like this. No one expected it to turn out this way. Everyone thought that, something else would happen. No one really knew what would happen to custody, and they haven't really, discussed the possible outcomes. I guess Stella just kind of assumed that everything would continue the way it was. Everything would stay the way it was. Rosie would keep custody of her, and nothing would change, but it didn't turn out that way. Not at all. Caroline's like, I'm so sorry, honey. I promise we can do something you like tomorrow. We can go to a festival. We can watch a game or a TV show if you'd like. We can do whatever you'd like. It's gonna be fine, I promise. We can get some new stuff for your room. We can. Caroline's just trying to figure out what to do, and Stella's like so tired, and Stella is exhausted. She doesn't know what to do. She just wants to disappear. I guess she's just going to go to sleep. She's like, Grandma, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go to bed if that's okay. Caroline's like, yeah, you seem really tired. That's totally fine. If you want to, I can sleep in your room for the day. Stella doesn't know how to respond. She's like, sure, if you'd like to, you can sleep in my room. And she's like, I got you. No one has ever slept in Stella's room. Her mom didn't sleep in her room when she was younger. Obviously, the employees didn't, because that would be kind of scary. So she doesn't know what to do, but I guess she's already asleep, so she doesn't even notice how her grandma crawls next to her and hugs her. It's the next day, and Caroline is actually in the kitchen having a smoke. She usually doesn't smoke, but today is an exception. She's just feeling in the mood, I guess. She's still flabbergasted by yesterday. She doesn't know what to think. She doesn't know what to say. She just really needs this break right now. See, she doesn't even like smoking. Caroline is not feeling too hot after smoking. Stella usually shouldn't be up yet, but I guess she woke up. There was also something going on with the TV. See? Yeah. The TV is kinda broken, so I guess I woke her up. Her acne got even worse, guys. She woke up not really feeling anything. She's not feeling anything. Maybe Raphael is trying to talk to them because he feels very bad about the situation, and it just feels very awkward because he doesn't work for Rosie anymore. He doesn't work as Secret Service anymore after what happened. He quit, but obviously he also doesn't see Stella anymore, and he's been accompanying Stella for nearly a year, and now he's just not. So maybe he's trying to reconnect, and he's like trying to talk to Caroline, see how it goes, maybe talk to Stella again, just so that it's not as abrupt. You know what? I think it's leftovers today. I think it's a leftovers day. Maybe we can make like a sandwich for Stella. I think that's a great idea. Caroline has never had the best relationship with Rosie. They've always been kind of conflicted, no matter what happened. They never really got along. Obviously, she loved her with all her heart, but you guys have to know that Caroline is a mom of a lot of kids. You haven't got to see them yet, but she has a lot of children, and therefore Rosie grew up with a lot of siblings. So, with only two parents, Chandler, who unfortunately passed away, they never really had that much time or space for their children. So, they always had to just get by with not as much affection from their parents, I think. I mean, they tried, obviously. They weren't like neglecting their children or anything, not at all. Unfortunately, Rosie has had a lot of mental health issues growing up, and also other issues going on, not just mental health wise, but also like generally health wise, that Caroline did not really know how to deal with. Caroline is by no means perfect. Caroline had a lot of stuff to learn and still has. Even though it might seem like she's a very protective role and that safe space, which she is for Stella, she does have her flaws, and she did have these flaws when she was younger as well. And that's kind of what caused a rift between her and Rosie. She didn't know how to cope or how to deal with Rosie's mental health issues and her health issues, so she often resorted to saying mean things or not dealing with the situation well. In a way, it also made her problems worse, and I don't know if Caroline understands that yet. When Rosie had Stella, for a while she reconnected with Caroline because she was in a really tough situation. First, Rosie moved out and planned to just not talk to her mom anytime soon, never again. But then she had like stuff going on with her boyfriend, and she started having hallucinations. And guys, I don't want to associate hallucinations and mental health problems with Rosie as a character, because obviously she is not the best person. And so I don't want to like paint that image that like if you have hallucinations or mental health problems, like that does not make you a bad person. So I really don't want to give you guys that impression. I've had hallucinations for a short while, like they weren't super vivid, but like I mistook like certain things for something else. Like for example, when I was in school once, and I had my backpack on, and basically like it banked the banged against my back the whole time, and I don't know why, but it sounded like steps. Like it actually sounded like vivid steps behind me, and so I was looking behind me the whole time, and I'm pretty sure that was because of some other stuff that was going on back then, which thankfully is not going on anymore. But yeah, so I'm not trying to make this seem like it makes you a bad person or anything. Like, I know how fucking sucky that is. I know how I know how sucky that is to experience these things. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, Rosie was really struggling with these things and she didn't know how to cope, and she also had so much other stuff going on. And like, her relationship was falling apart, and then like that was going on for such a long time, and then at some other point she was planning to get married, but then it didn't work out. She left the person at the altar. The point is that Rosie did try to reconnect with her mom at some times, but that was mostly just because of Stella. Like, she also brought Stella to her grandma's when she was at her worst, so that Stella didn't have to witness that. She was very young back then, like Stella. But other than that, they haven't talked a lot. They haven't been keeping in touch or anything. They haven't talked. They haven't done any of these things truly. So there's kind of a big rift between them. Despite everything, Caroline just never assumed Rosie to react the way she did yesterday at the courthouse. That was very shocking to her, and she didn't know how to react. She didn't know what to do, and the teapot just broke. It's prepared. Stella is still asleep. I think we have to wake her up. Caroline's like, oh, she's still asleep. I mean, I'll give her a rest. She really needs that, but hey, Stella, it's time to wake up. Stella's like, oh, sorry, Grandma. Did I oversleep? She's like, no, it's fine. Come get some breakfast. I made you a sandwich. Stella's like, thanks, Grandma. Thank you. It's peanut butter jelly. Oh, that's nice. Caroline's like, so is there anything you'd like to do today? And Stella's like, stay in bed, I guess. Caroline's like, come on, we have to go out. You like games, right? Is there like maybe like a game tournament going on somewhere? Doesn't matter how far it is, we can go. Stella's like, I'm not really up to date with that stuff, I don't know. Caroline's like, let me look at my phone. So she's opening the calendar, and do we have anything going on today? Stella's like, see, I told you, I don't know if anything's going on. Can we just stay home? Caroline's like, look, I'll see if I can think of something. If I can't, we can stay home. And oh my god, Mattia is calling us. Guys, that is Caroline's dad. Oh my god, he's calling. Caroline's like, hold on, I have to answer the phone. Now guys, this is really urgent because Mattia is getting older, which is also something that adds additional stress to Caroline. So she always has to get the phone as soon as possible when he's calling. But I think he seems to be fine. Caroline's like, Stella, can you go to your room for a second? You can play some games. Mattia's like, yeah, I'm good. My day is going great. How's yours? And Caroline's like, you know, the custody situation I told you about, like, was yesterday. So yeah, that's going on. He's like, the custody thing. Yeah, right, you kind of said something. She's like, yeah, the custody thing. He doesn't really know that much. His memory has gotten a lot worse, and his empathy has also been like, it's not his fault, he's just getting older. She's like, so how's Aveta doing? He's like, yeah, Aveta's fine. You know, Butler's been doing much work, I can't really have a say anymore. She's like, oh well, maybe that's for the better. Alvetta is actually Caroline's sister. Mattia actually got the very excellent idea to adopt a child while I wasn't playing his household. I have no idea how he got like custody of this child. He's like 90, which is really old. Like homeboy's getting those years. Do you even say that? I don't think that's like a phrase. But yeah, he adopted a child as a 90-year-old, I have no idea how he did that. I guess he's very influential because, like, he owns one of the most cutting edge technology stuff. Like, he's involved with automobiles. Like, he's involved with the automobile industry, and he's also involved with, like, some other stuff. But yeah, he has a child. He adopted another child at 90. And when Caroline found that out, she was like, "You have to hire a nanny for this child. I'm sorry, Matthew, but you can't take care of a child. No, you can't." So Alvetta still lives with him, but he hired a nanny, so basically that nanny's taking care of Alvetta now. And when the inevitable comes and he unfortunately has to leave, custody will go to someone else in the family. But yeah, that's the situation for now. Caroline just really doesn't know what to say. Like, everything's crashing down all at once, I swear. Like, her dad adopted a child. Her own daughter just lost custody of her child. Everything is so crazy lately. Caroline actually told Stella to get some of the parsley we have growing in our garden just so that Stella would get out of the house today. So she's gonna do that. And oh my god, there's also like weeds on this plant. I think Stella's going to call her grandma and she's gonna be like, "Grandma, there were weeds on that plant." Stella doesn't want to do that on her own. Like, she doesn't want to weed this plant because she tried once and she failed, and then, like, Caroline had to replant the plant. Like, she kind of broke some things, and so she's scared that will happen again. Oh my god, Raphael is coming over. Caroline's like, "Raphael, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Hi, I just wanted to say hello, yesterday at the courthouse, everything was very quick, I guess. We didn't get to say goodbye." So I was like, "Oh, hi, Raphael, come in. How are you doing?" It's only been a week, but it feels like it's been a lot longer than that. But they're having a pleasant conversation, so that's nice. He's like, "You have it really nice here. I've never seen your grandma's place." He's like, "Yeah, it's nice here, you have a garden, and then we also have this big pond out here. I never actually swam in it." And he's like, "Why not? Why don't you swim there?" She's like, "Don't know why." Stella doesn't know how to swim. She never got taught. She's like, "Yeah, so it was nice talking to you, Raphael. Do you have any plans today? Like, what are you going to do?" And he's like, "Oh, I have to catch up on my TV show. Look for some stuff, like get some stuff sorted. I'm moving back to my own apartment." And she's like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, but I don't wanna like bother you with that or anything." So it's like, "Well, then goodbye, Raphael." He's like, "Yeah, see you. I mean, I can call you on." And she's like, "Okay, if you'd like." For pretty much the first time, Stella's actually coming outside and just sitting here and taking in the scenery. Caroline's coming outside as well, and she's like, "Hey, Stella, I was looking for you. It's nice out here." Caroline's like, "Yeah, it really is. Let me light some incense sticks. Do you wanna do soothing sage, or do you wanna do saffron? Or we can also do lemon." Stella's like, "Sage is fine." Stella's going to smell the aroma. What does she think? Oh, tension relief scent. The sage incense is slowly easing the stress and tension of the world. I think they're just enjoying the silence out here. For some reason, like, it's one of those moments where you just notice how quiet it is. And it's so nice. Stella's like, "I'm sorry that I didn't want to do anything today. I'm sorry. And Caroline's like, no, it's fine, you don't have to apologize. It's totally okay. She's like, you do not need to apologize for that. It's totally fine, okay? And Stella's like, sure. But guys, it's getting late, and I think I'm going to wrap up the episode here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really interested in what you guys have to say. As I said, like, if you have any thoughts or ideas or comments, please leave them in the comment section. Because, like, this is exciting. Okay, but yeah. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. And yeah, with that being said, goodbye and enjoy your day.